Hello, Telechaos here, and today I will be responding to the Liver King's apology video. If you are unaware of the Liver King, this is this Jack Hammer wannabe looking gremlin who is a grifter, masked behind a motivational speaker now. I honestly think, I'm starting to think, that I have a special disdain for people that pretend to be a motivational. They're doing it for the people. Think about the people. Think about the mental health. When they're really just using that as an excuse to sell a product or themselves.
Primals, I'm making this video to apologize. Because I fucked up. Because I'm embarrassed and ashamed. Because I lied. And I misled a lot of people. I've stated that this is a complicated as fuck topic, at least to me it is, because before social media, I was rich and anonymous. And after social media, I'm still rich, but no longer anonymous. And I never expected this kind of exposure in the public eye.
What does you being rich and anonymous and now not rich and no longer anonymous have to do with the fact that you lied about using steroids? I'm genuinely confused about this. Please answer this. Also, that is your first lie in your apology. You do not want to be known in the public eye. Then why would you create a social media persona known as the Liver King, who you know because I'm pretty sure you could look at a mirror. Your body is not natural looking, it's more on the extreme end. Again, Jack Hammer, and you're creating this persona that you eat raw meat to look like you do while selling supplements. I don't expect to be the next PewDiePie or T Series with number of subscribers. I don't even want to expect 1,000 or 1,000,000 subs. What I try to do with my turning on the camera, getting dressed up, is to show someone like myself that it can be done. Just like I didn't expect to learn 4 languages, it can be done. That's why I created my social media. I'm fully aware that people are going to see me potentially even like 100 years from now if the internet still exists and if YouTube is still a thing. So for you to say that you've never wanted to be a public figure, that's lie.
It's been tricky as fuck to navigate. Well, clearly I did it wrong. And I'm here now to set the record straight. Yes, I've done steroids. And yes, I am on steroids, monitored and managed by a trained hormone clinician.
Do you really need to do that? Like the deep sighing. I apologize because I wasn't being true to myself because I was speaking with the more Americanized accent, and although I can talk like this, that is not the way that I think when I'm thinking in English, if I'm thinking in English. But see, I'm not thinking about how that could hurt other people. It's just how I talk. And my accents will fluctuate. If you ever watch my streaming, you would see that. But this is how I think in my fourth language. I'm not trying to sell a product. I'm not trying to sell an image. I'm not trying to sell anything. Maybe besides myself.
Liver King, the public figure, was an experiment to spread the message, to bring awareness to the 4,000 people a day who kill themselves, the 80,000 people a day that try to kill themselves. Our people are hurting at record rates with depression, autoimmune, anxiety, infertility, low ambition in life.
I don't know if you're relying on people's ignorance of not knowing the statistics, but that is disgusting, underrated, lie, estimated grossly. It's disgusting because you are selling a lie for your supplements. It's even more disgusting when you're saying that, oh, only 4,000 people kill themselves every year, about 80,000 people attempt suicide. Editor's note: I do not know how to read numbers. I have dyslexia, but the correct and proper numbers are going to be shown on screen of how many people kill themselves every day. The true number is 800,000 people off themselves every day, and it's estimated that 20 times more people try. And that number is underrated because there's certain countries that doing that is considered illegal. People don't talk about it, which is why I think we should normalize speaking about mental health, because sometimes all a person needs is a person to listen to them and their hardships, not sell them a fake supplement that's going to make them look like Jack Hama. This is why I felt the need to respond to this particular apology video. He lists a couple of things: depression, autoimmune, anxiety, and infertility. These are four things that I have.
Our young men are hurting the most, feeling lost, weak, and submissive. So I made it my job to model, teach, and preach a simple, elegant solution called ancestral living, the 9 ancestral tenets, so our people no longer have to suffer, so we can collectively express our highest and most dominant form. This is my fight. This is why I exist.
I do think this is a very important conversation to have. People, in a way, compared to like 20 years ago, mental health and talking about mental health has been, in a sense, normalized, but I don't think it has been normalized enough, especially to the male gender, because men are expected to just man up and shut up and deal with it. Where females' mental health is taken like, oh, she's just crazy, she just must be on her period, which are both wrong for both genders.
While spreading the message, I've been on several podcasts, and when asked if I've ever taken steroids, I've always said no. I don't touch the stuff, not gonna touch the stuff, never touch the stuff. That was a lie.
I would have never guessed that that was a lie. Even Jack Hama, which is what I think you look like the most because that's what you remind me of, even he's not natural.
I've convinced myself that this had nothing to do with the ancestral message. I convinced myself that I'm not a competitive athlete of any kind, so who the fuck am I cheating?
You're cheating yourself, you are cheating your fans who believe in you,
To the 15-year-old boys.
you are cheating the people who buy your products thinking that they're going to get results to look somewhat like you when they're not even going to look similar or even close, because what you're on is nowhere near what you're selling, which is snake oil.
I convinced myself that this topic was a placeholder for a far more important conversation.
What conversation are you convincing yourself that you lying about, you grifting, you selling snake oil would somehow be okay? What is the topic that you convinced yourself that was a placeholder for this?
I convinced myself that this would overshadow the 36 years of working out, usually twice a day, without PEDs.
Would or wouldn't? Because I know for a fact that there's a lot of times, because English is not my first language, that there are moments where I speak and I say the exact opposite.
I've convinced myself that this was the vocal minority, usually in the fitness category, driving to an unproductive conversation. And I had convinced myself that this would be the wrong message to send to the 15-year-old boys.
This is the wrong conversation to have. If we're going to talk about mental health, please let's talk about mental health. But what we're not going to do is excuse our behavior, our actions, our choices in taking steroids because mental health. Especially when you don't even quote the correct numbers of how many people kill themselves. This tells me that you really don't care, or you are so willfully ignorant that you are misquoting, disregarding how many men, how many women, how many people kill themselves because you wanted to sell an image.
So I continually dismissed it, and I dug myself into a bigger and deeper hole. I have only myself to blame. I did that. And it was all wrong. I will be better. I will talk about it openly because I believe that there's a time and a place for pharmacological intervention monitored and managed by a trained hormone physician.
I have depression. I cannot make this a secret, even if I wanted to. I have PTSD, and even if I didn't want to disclose it, if I don't, it could be dangerous. So I can definitely understand the pharmaceutical intervention is needed at times. My grandmother was prescribed steroids because she has a pacemaker. My mother was prescribed steroids because she has an autoimmune disease. I have MS, it's an autoimmune disease, and I've had three doctors recommend me getting on steroids because I need it. So, yes, there is definitely at times where a pharmaceutical intervention is needed. However, what my grandmother, my mother, and I aren't doing, we aren't getting jacked, pretending that we're natural, and selling the snake oil to 15-year-old fans of ours.
In 2021, when I was 43 years old, I didn't feel 100% physically or cognitively. So I went to get monitored and managed by a trained hormone clinician to see what the fuck was going on with my life.
How about you normalize going to therapy and getting the help you need instead of using just pharmaceutical interventions?
And so, yes, it's true. I have tried several peptide combinations in an effort to increase my growth hormone, and it didn't work, meaning that my levels still remained below the normal level.
Now, I am not going to shame you for not having enough of the hormones that you feel like you need to, because I also have a lot of hormone issues that doctors don't take seriously because whatever reason. However, I don't pretend that I don't take medications. In fact, I show myself and I show my pill container on stream quite often.
So, yes, it's also true that I've tried pharmaceutical grade growth hormone and I finally found success in managing therapeutic levels in the normal range. Yes, this is true. I've continued on with zero point 0.6 cc's of testosterone per week, roughly 120 milligrams of testosterone a week. And no, I don't take any other steroids like nandrolone or winstrol, but I have tried them in the past without success. Yes, it's also true that my blood chemistry got all fucked up while taking nandrolone and winstrol. My lipids got all deranged. My liver enzymes went sky high, which is why clinical oversight is an absolute must.
Clinical oversight is not the issue. If you need to take medication, be on medication. However, the issue is that you claim that you weren't using when you were. That's the problem.
Nope. The Liver King brand has had nothing, or at least very little, to do with my business success. My companies were already kicking ass, already successful before the Liver King public figure, growing at 50% year over year and still growing at the same pace after the Liver King public figure.
If you were so successful and you were growing at a 50% rate, why couldn't you just be honest from the beginning?
Nope. I've never had ab implants, ab etching, or any other plastic surgery, and I sure as fuck never actually had gene editing done in Singapore. I made all of that up. It was all intended to be a joke.
So, how is plastic surgery a joke? So, you seem to be a pathological liar, even when you didn't need to lie. Is that what you're telling me?
And that's an expression of ancestral tin and tin. Have a little goddamn fun. Ultimately, why did I or why do I do them? When I talk about the 85% of the population that suffers from self-esteem issues.
So, you suffer from self esteem issues, and you don't think somehow what you're juicing up, pretending to be natural, that's not going to cause another 15-year-old boy, like you said, to look up to you and develop self esteem issues as well?
I'm part of that statistic. This is why I fucking work myself to death in the gym. This is why I do 12 to 15 blood burning workouts a week, just to feel like I'm okay. Still, I have to absolutely crush myself to do so, and I'm wrecked physically and cognitively, and hormone replacement has helped in a profound and significant way.
Do you realize that you're part of the problem, not the solution?
And still, I believe that the path to paradise is paved in fucking hell.
If the path to paradise is paved with effing hell, why would you want to go there? And I think you're misquoting one of my favorite quotes, which is the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
I previously have said in a weird way, I'm grateful for the recent events that have shed light on this complicated as fuck topic.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my god, stop your fucking lying.
It's really not that complicated of a topic. You just don't want to take accountability that you lie to people and you got caught in your lie.
I knew I needed to take this opportunity to openly discuss everything for me to be a better human. If there are any questions that remain unanswered, send them my way. I fully own that I fucked up. I am as sorry as a man can be.
Why are you as sorry as a man can be? Why can't you just be sorry for lying? Why do you feel the need to bring your gender up if you're not going to bring up the fact that males are more likely to commit suicide? But somehow you're a man, so you are as sorry as a man can be. So the males who kill themselves that are more likely to do that are what? As sorry as they can be? I'm confused with this.
And all I can do is take extreme ownership right now, be better, and lead myself to a better life as a better human. Again, thank you to everyone for the support, the criticism, the love, the hate, and above all else, the loyalty. Liver King. Out.
My issue with this grifter is that they are pretending somehow, not that they got caught and got called out for what they were doing, they're pretending to care about the suicide rate and how many people are having these horrible experiences with their lives. And so he was supposed to be the face of diversity, I guess. Except I've, in this video alone, have stated more facts, more factual information about suicide, more factual information about the facts that males have a harder time and are more likely to do that simply because. And I'm not pretending to be anything other than myself. The Liver King was pretending to be something else so that he could sell you something. And now that he got called and called out for, it's like, I'm sorry, but I did this because I care. Yeah, okay, so I have ED type 2. So if I say the reason why I restrict my eating to the point of near starvation is because they're starving children in Africa, that makes absolutely no sense. These two things are completely unrelated. It's like me saying, oh, because it's raining, I stubbed my toe. That is a nonsensical statement. He's fully aware of that. Don't ever think that he's not. But he's lying to people, the same exact people that he claims to care about. I have an issue, and I felt the need to call it out for what it was. And I'm glad that a lot of people, because I'm not the only one, actually kind of late for the party, but I'm not the only one who's called him out on this. And I'm glad that I'm not, because this is unacceptable to any 15-year-old boy, any 14-year-old boy, any man, any male who is going through this self-esteem issues. Do not look up to this person. Do not look at bodybuilders as an inspiration for what you want to be. I think you should look up to be your healthiest, be your best. Sleep right, eat right, get medical help, get assistance if you need to, talk to a therapist, talk to a psychologist. Whatever you do, don't make excuses and then pretend like, oh, I did it because I care about people. Well, I'm going to be saying the wrong statistic about the people that I pretend to care about. Anyways, this has been Telechaos here. I hope you take care of yourself. Don't forget to drink water. Stay lovely, stay healthy. Peace. Bye bye. Ow.